Hey guys, welcome back to another video brought to you by the Vendor Boys. Hi, my name is Shane, and today we're going to be looking at the Android 16 deck profile. I never really knew much about this deck until I guess Jared Lopez put this leader and deck on the map. I did have a mate locally who played this who enjoyed it, but didn't play it for long. After seeing a lot of Jared Lopez's builds and plays, we decided to go ahead and build his list and make some slight changes. Obviously our change will be a bit different towards our meta, but pretty much almost identical lists, give or take a few cards. But yeah, let's jump into it. So for those of you who don't know, this leader came out in the Evolution Booster. Has a permanent negates all energy exhaust skills of Android 16 cards with arrival blue-green in all of your areas. And it has an auto of when it attacks, you can choose one blue or green Android card in your hand, discard it, and draw two. And the Awaken is either when your life is at 4 or less, or there are 5 more energy between you and your opponent. You can draw one, switch one to active mode, and then add cards down from your life till you have 5. And I'll flip this card over. On the Awaken side, unfortunately, you don't get to draw, so make sure that you utilize the pitch and draw as much as you can. The Awakened side is pretty much the same. Negates all the energy skills of Android 16 with Arrival, blue-green in all areas. Has another permanent that you may pay the skill costs and activate the Arrival costs of blue-green skills of cards in your energy. So this allows you to play your Arrival cards from your energy, not just from your hand, which is how it used to be done. And it has an auto of a once per turn. When an Android card is played from your energy area, you can ramp the top card of your deck. So you're constantly replacing that energy you're using. And then the activate battle is once per turn. You can use one blue-green multicolor Android card in your drop area as a combo. So you can give your stuff a free 10k combo. So that's a quick one through on the leader, but let's just jump straight into the deck. So the main package of the deck, which most run, is for energy amplification. This here's the ramper of the deck. This ramps up your energy. Next card here, the 5 cost. This was the promo. This is Android 16 Star Wipe Defender. This card here, basically, you can only play one of these cards a turn. Has an arrival cost green blue of 1 blue. And then when it's played, you get one of the effects of, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 4 or less and KO it, or you can add essentially this Android 16 to your hand from your deck. So it's a searcher for this if you need it. Otherwise, you can just remove 4 costs. Then we have 4 of the Android 16 Limited Defender. So this card here is basically, I wouldn't say the bread and butter of the deck, but this card does a lot for what it is. So this has an arrival blue-green, so you can either pay a blue or a green to play it. It has blocker on it, and it also has a revive blue-green limit 1. So if it dies, you can pay 1 to bring it back, essentially. Like pitch 1 multicolor card to bring it back. And then this is also reduced in your hand as combo cost if you have a multicolor card in your energy. So this can be an arrival fodder if you need it. And then this also switches to active mode at the end of the turn, of the end of your turn, sorry. And activate battle, basically limit 1, so you can only do this once a turn. If your opponent's turn you carry this card, you can remove a mark from Unison. So this is also good to get around stuff where they give their Unison added bonuses like double strike, triple strike, and that. This will revert that back to basics. So this is also good to get around stuff like that. But because you can like pop it, bring it back, you can use it for essentially 2 blocks, which is pretty good. Next we have the 6 drop. This is Android 16 Steadfast Comeback. And this card here is an arrival blue-green, 1 blue, 1 green. This has dual attack, block, or revenge. It has an auto of when this card, if your leader card is blue or green, when this card is played, or using the combo from your hand, you can choose one. So either your opponent chooses one of their cards in the hand and discards it, or you can place up to 1 blue Android card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck in your drop area, then shuffle your deck. I never really used the second effect. I've only ever used the first effect. But nonetheless, it's a generically good card. It's a dual attack, so you can swing with it once, leave it up, and then have a card that can block and kill other problem cards. And then the last card of the package, of the main package, is Android 16's Steadfast Ally. So this has double strike, arrival, blue, green. It's 2 blue, 2 green. Has an auto. When this card is played, you can add up to 1 Android 21 card. With energy cost of 5 or less from your deck to your hand. You can shuffle your deck and choose up to 1 Android 21 card with energy cost of 5 or less in your hand and play it. So basically, when you do the search off this, you either add Android 21 a Bad Omen or Android 21 Beautiful Scientist. So Beautiful Scientist ramps your card and pops Slank and has blocker. And no, I have a mental blank now. Bad Omen, sorry. The Bad Omen allows you to basically rip one of their life and a dude. So, you know, depending on where you're at, you know, they could be at 1 life and you just do this and you essentially win the game. This also has an effect of when this card attacks, your opponent chooses 1 card in the hand and discards it, so similar to like the Zamasu effect. So that's the main package for the Android 16s. Moving on to the rest of the parts of the deck. So we play 1 Android 17 and 18 Saloons Revived. For those of you who don't know what this card does, this card here has Deflect, Double Strike, Dual Attack. And when this card is played, you choose any number of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier. And place them in the owner's drop areas. And then at the end of the turn, switch up to 1 of your blue energies active mode. And this has an order of when this card attacks, you look at your opponent's hand and rip 2 cards out of it. And put them in their energy and rest mode. So this swings... this essentially rips 4 cards. So this is a pretty decent card as well. I found 1 was pretty good for this card. I think any more than that's a bit much, unless you're going into a slower matchup. We'll go into the side deck for this after. 2 Beautiful Scientists. This card here, like I said, is just a blocker. It plays off the other Android we saw before, which is... where is he? Which is this boy here, so he can play this out when he's played. And then, yeah, so when this is played, look at the top 7, ramp 1, then choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. 2 Android 18 Speedy Sub. This allows you to just search and also change energy around if you need to grab multicolor cards and put it in your hand. But mainly just a searcher, or, you know, moving. If you accidentally ramp this, you can use this to grab this back. Bad Omen, yet again, the same as the other card again. It can play this off of its effect. So it's the same thing. You can technically play this from your energy for 2 blue and 2 green. And yeah, the order is just choose 1 card in energy and place it in your drop area. And when you play this card, up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and 1 card in your opponent's life and place them in the owner's drop area. So it's not too bad. 3 Zamasu. This plays on top of almost a good chunk of almost anything in this deck. To pay 1, if you have 3 or more energy, choose green cards in your battle area with 5,000 power or more and a total energy cost of 5. Place them in the drop area and play this card. So this is just so whenever you swing, they've got to rip a card from hand. And because it's got indestructible, it's very hard to get around. So that can be played on top of like this, which is what you normally play it on top of. You can also play it on top of this Android here. Bad Omen if you really need to. But yeah, so those are the targets you have for that. 4 Boo Unison. A lot of the time you're getting to your turn 4 on your turn 3. So this card is just really good for the deck. For those of you who don't know what this does, this is a double strike blocker +0. You can draw a card at the end of the turn. You switch this and then mono blue energy to active mode. And has a -1 when your opponent attacks the battle card. You can choose 1 of their battle cards and bottom deck it. So it's very versatile for what it is. For the super combos, Android 18 Bionic Blitz. This is just good for ripping the hand. You technically search it if you need to off of the 1-drop. But yeah, you can just constantly use this every time for your leader. Give it +10k and it's just always big. For Senzu Bean, obviously everyone knows why this card's run. This just gives you extra advantage, really extends your plays. So it gives you not only a defensive option with this card, but also an offensive option with this card as well. One Child's Army. This is just in case you want to sort of keep your board alive if you don't have any of the blockers out. So this is just an additional way to sort of keep your stuff alive. Also play three Dimension Magic. Yet again, you don't necessarily negate a lot with this unless you want to extend your arrival plays. Because a lot of the time, a lot of your blocker dudes is enough to stop what you need to stop. You may need to just use this if you want to extend. And then three Trunks. Obviously one of the best counter plays in the game. So if you're running Boo, Unison, you basically run this. This is a no-brainer. Secret Rare is obviously Hatch. This just shuts down turns. One of the best secret rares in the game, in my opinion. Obviously, unfortunately, it's only for blue. And then onto a couple of Spice cards. A little bit different to Jared Lopez's list is we play one of this Goku. This Goku base says while this card's in rest mode, they can't attack your leader card. So this can buy you a couple of turns, especially if you have enough dudes on board to block. So they can't kill this. They're not getting any damage on your leader. So this is a good stall tactic if you need it. I just think this is a really good card for the deck. It's like worst case scenario, you can charge it. Otherwise, it is a triple striker, so it can actually be lethal as well if you need it to be. And the last two cards is this new Kusu Angel of Universe 10. This card came out in set 16. We've been testing it in this deck. It's actually been testing very well. Especially if you come across cards that are lower sort of cost, like 6 costs or less that have deflect. This gets around that. For those of you who don't know what this card does, if you have one or more multicolor energy, when this card in your hand is played or using a combo, your opponent chooses one card in their hand and places at the bottom of the deck. So it gets rid of one card when it's played or combo. And has an order of when this card is played, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 6 or less and place it at the bottom of his owner's deck. So for 2 mana, you get a 15k dude on board that rips a card from hand that also bottom decks a dude. And then, so for 2 mana, I think that's very viable. And worst case scenario, if you don't need this, you can always use this for your revival costs off of your own, off of your android that has revive. If you don't need it. Otherwise, it's just a generally good floodgate to have depending on the meta. I think it just has a really good spot in the deck right now, but that's just my preference. On the sideboard, 2 Trunks. This is, I guess, for more aggro matchups where they play a lot of big dudes and try to swing early. So I don't really need to go too much into that. 1 Child's Army. This is obviously more for aggro matchups as well. Just to give you that extender to not die as quick. This card here we've been testing for a bit. It's alright. With how long that you can go with this deck and how many turns you can go into, sometimes if you go into the grindy game, this can be a good side option to, I guess, do it before your opponent does it. Give you that head start. But otherwise, just generally good cards against decks that don't play low flyers, because once this is out, they basically lose the game. 3 Kai. This basically says if you want to do your free play stuff during my turn, when I make you rip cards from hand, you're going to neg instead. So place of 3 of. 2 Blue Impulse. This is really good for decks like King Piccolo. Set 1 Freezer. If they play anything during your turn, like a battle card, you just choose all their opponent's battle cards and carry them. So this is just a good board removal. 2 Son Gohan and Piccolo. May just use this to get rid of silver bullets that may hurt the deck. This is just a 1-cost blue. If leader card is blue or green, discard this. You choose, if you discard from your hand, you choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, range cost 3 or less, and place them at the bottom of the deck in any order. So this gets rid of any problem cards that you may find on your board that on their board that you can't get around at the start. So this is just a good answer to that. Another one of these Android 17s for the I guess more grindy matchups if you want to see it. Because once you see this, you start ripping their hand. You really start limiting what they can do. Like, yeah, they could have, you know, 13, 14 mana, but when they're only top decking and you're not feeding them life, then there's not much they can really do. You just got to play around it that way. Last card is just Dark King's Flash. This is just good for mainly Sin Shenron. Deck doesn't have an overly too bad time against Sin Shenron, but it's just nice to have an extra out in case you need it. So mainly in there for that, and obviously we just have the 2 Children's Army tokens here just for the counters, but that is basically the list we have going at the moment. Feel free to leave your comments below on how you think about the deck. I think the deck has a very good spot in the format at the moment. I think it has potential to do well as it has been. I think it just really depends on the pilot. You have to really know your matchups when playing this deck and when to rival your stuff and when not to rival, and basically when to let your blockers die, because once they're in the drop you're not getting them back, so you got to make sure that you play it correctly. But anyway, just a quick mention again, we are doing a giveaway for this box here. So this will be given away once we hit the 50 subscribers. To enter, all you have to do is like one of the videos, leave a comment and subscribe. And we will put everyone into a draw, which will be drawn live, and one lucky person will win that. But appreciate everyone that's already liked the videos already, commented, subscribed, and has already shown the ongoing support. We look forward to bringing more content, not only just deck profiles, but stuff that more will help with not only old players, but new players as well, because I feel like some of the stuff which we have, like the tools, are a bit hard to use, especially for new players trying to understand ruling. So we plan on eventually releasing a series to do with keyword skills, mechanics, and just other different bits and bobs about the game, which isn't always easily accessible, because we want to make this game as transparent for new players to make their orientation into this game as smooth as possible, especially with Bandai not giving us the promoting that we need. We needed to be able to promote it in an easier way for newer players. So that's what we're going to try and aim for on this page as well, is to bring in new players by allowing them to have an easier time understanding the rules, because we will have a PDF or a Word document they can download and print and read for any questions they may have. But anyway, thanks again for watching the video, guys. If you did like this, please leave a comment and a like, and if you really want to stick around and see some more, subscribe. Until next time, guys, have a good one. Thanks.